So this is what I'm doing today. I am off the side of this cliff down here, hoping my rope doesn't fray at the top. Trying to get, yeah, that's kind of what's going on. Rocks keep sliding down and off the edge, and there's a big tree that we pulled over the edge down there, and you can see it, onto the sidewalk. Now I've got to cut this little guy. Hope he doesn't land on my rope or come back down the hill toward me. Yeah. This is muddy and everything's got some snow on it and it's saturated and there's a lot of rock under here, and so I step on stuff and like whole sheets of mud just slide off. It's just not ideal. I've had quite the time. More exhaustive and everything than I expected. Well guys, I may have just done the sketchiest job of my life, and it's not going to convey through in this video or the photos, of course, but I'll do the best that I can to explain what's going on. So I just dropped this dead pinion, which, you know, not a big deal in itself. We had to drop it uphill, which is not that big a deal. But I did have a repel line coming from the top that the only way I could get down to it was crossing right there under it. So I was afraid it was gonna fall on it. And you might be wondering what all this butt tie stuff is. It's just a butt tie with a running bowline on top. Then it's a bunch of wraps and a little bit of a timber hitch on the bottom, because we are in a city park and they were afraid that it was gonna go down and hit those stairs down there. Behind me there's a 120-foot cliff. This is very steep. I cannot explain how steep. I mean, the rise is like 2 to 1, so 2 foot for every 1 foot in is about the rise, maybe 2.5 feet. It's very steep. It's not easy to walk on at all. I have no footing because this rock is slick as everything has all this dust on it. So the only tie off I could do was on the same tree that I cut. I cut it high, hoping that it would do exactly what it did. Land on the hill up top, lay there. I'm actually gonna leave this rope here, I think, just for safety on this thing. I don't want it coming down and hitting them because we're not moving it out of the way. And yeah, so what I did is I took the tail of my line that already had the zigzag on it, because I usually run this double moving rope system, so I already had a carabiner and the zigzag on. I just clipped it back here because I was in a rush. But so this is what's actually my lifeline right now, and then this here is my backup that runs all the way back up, like I said, to the top of the dab. So yeah, I mean, you can kind of get a perspective of what's going on. That's about a 45-foot cliff there. Then it's super steep just all the way down. And this back here right behind me, like, I don't know, 3.5 feet, is a 120-foot cliff I rappelled down earlier today. So yeah, mainly what I didn't like is the butt, which it tried to do, could have rolled off and landed right on my line and tried to take me with it, as you can see there. And that was not ideal. So I didn't like that. Didn't like that I had like a steep area right here beside me. I mean, that's like a really steep grade. It's hard to explain. And yeah, it's kind of what happened.